Okay, so now we've got your scene set up with the images that you wanted. We have this as a live space within Unreal, so it's obviously we can move through the space. We're still seeing the materials, we're seeing the lighting effects.
Yeah.
So it gives you a really clear idea of the sort of opportunities to get the right sort of renders out or new views that maybe you haven't considered before.
Yeah, it's super helpful seeing all the spaces like this sort of collectively together in real time, just so I can see how it sort of flows as a whole piece. So are we able to set cameras up sort of just looking around, or is that a bit of a nightmare?
No, it's fine. As we move around, you have the opportunity to actually just literally create a camera in the position that you're sat at.
Cool, yeah.
And then we can look through that particular camera, and then we can start, either moving it around.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the camera. We can move it around, to fine tune that sort of viewpoint.
Yeah.
And then we can start changing the actual parameters.
Okay, so we could like punch in on this table or do whatever if
so
we
we've
needed
got
to.
a really wide angle lens here, so we can take it down to 18, or we can go into 35.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And then we can look at different apertures, so we can bring the lighting back.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And then that's saved. You can go back and render that out. At a later date.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, cool. And then, so is it as complicated to make a cinematic or a sequence or an animation, or is that more long-winded?
No, it's a pretty similar process. So what we've got is template files, which is set up with cameras in.
Okay, great.
So you just take this template file and duplicate it like I've done here, and then we can jump in, snap to that camera. This is taking us obviously into the boardroom.
Oh, well, yeah.
But again, we've still got the ability to actually sort of move it around and set the scene as you want.
Reposition it as we need. Okay. So if I wanted to take sort of a shot that was sort of front on looking across, and then we sort of pan and sweep across the boardroom table, we can set that up quite easily.
So looking across like this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, so basically we've got the actual time we want to spend going across. The default we've got is a 5-second clip.
Okay, great.
And then we can go to the end of that sequence, and let's just get rid of that keyframe. So that's where we started.
Yeah.
And then we just move the camera to where we want to end, and it'll auto keyframe it, and then we can play it backwards, forwards.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, lovely.
As you want.
Okay, fantastic. So if in this I wanted to sort of reiterate on it or make changes, so say if I wanted to swap, if the client wanted to swap the chair colours or something, we could do that as well, or is that something you've got to prepare?
No, so we've got sort of a library of materials, but also the actual materials have capabilities to be updated with themselves. So these chairs, for example, in the foreground here, they've got this red fabric on, so I can just take myself to where that red fabric is. And I've got a couple of others that are set up, so we can just change it to an orange fabric.
Okay, cool.
You're seeing it, live, so we can select all the chairs within the scene.
Yeah.
And we can change them over.
Oh, that looks great. Yeah.
And then this one we've got a cinematic which just lifts up.
Oh, that looks great. I love the lighting change in there as well. Is that super easy to do, or is that?
Yeah, so we've got a real world lighting system that we're using.
Okay, awesome.
So it's using a time of day setting. So in here we've got time of day.
Okay, so I could see that in like early morning or whenever, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we just slide this down. So
that's great. That's really helpful.
Early morning, moving up.
I love the sun coming in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, catching the walls.
So then with finishes and stuff as well, am I restricted to sort of specific bits of furniture, or can I do walls? Can I do anything else like that?
No, everything's customizable. Within reason. So the walls, again, we've got a material on here which allows us to, we can pull up the material and just pull that across.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's quite a simple material, but it's got a colour wheel here, so we can start moving through that colour wheel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really helpful.
As we want. So
yeah.
Either different paint colours, and we can put sort of specific values in there.
Yeah.
If we're looking to match something. As soon as we hit, we're still within that live scene, so we still have the capability of actually playing back, well, how does that cinematic look now?
Okay, great. So then when it's all set up, say if I needed this rendered out high res quality, how long before that gets back to me? Is that a long-winded time process, or is that?
We can give you instantaneous animations at this sort of quality.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's running in real time, and if I flip that up to full screen, you can see that this is. It's pretty good quality straight out the back,
great, yeah.
And that's rendering in real time. So we can just output that in a minute and send you a file. Or if you want higher res sort of cinematic quality on a 5-second clip like this, you're talking maybe 10-15 minutes.
Oh wow, that's really quick still. Yeah.
So it's a very flexible system.
Super.